Local productions seen on Delta College Public Media are made possible with support from viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Dateline Delta. I'm Dave Morley, a member of the Delta College Foundation Board of Directors. On today's show, we will meet Delta College's new Dean of Enrollment and join a Day of the Dead celebration. We'll listen in on a respected speaker at the planetarium and learn more about the Entrepreneurship program. To wrap up today's program, we'll get updates on our health simulation labs and our women's soccer and volleyball teams.
But you want to look at this? Horn blend. What's the description for horn blend?
I'll come around and make sure you're all set up. Okay.
All right, so we're going to do a side-to-side anastomosis.
Associate in Arts.
Delta College recently hired James Perry as its new Dean of Enrollment and Access. James brings with him a wide variety of experiences working with students across the country. We are very excited he joined Delta College to share his talents and expertise. Let's learn more about him.
James, welcome to Dateline Delta.
Thank you.
Could you tell us about your career and educational background?
Yes, my educational background started here in Saginaw, Michigan, K through 12. I'm an alum from University High School. From there, I went to Central State University on an athletic scholarship and then transferred to Tuskegee University. It's where Tuskegee University gave me my transition into my career, because when I graduated, I began working in the Office of Admissions. So admissions was really where I got my start in higher education and the career that I am now, and learning about just not only the in and out of admissions, but recruiting, and then working with students. Really trying to assist students to obtain their goals and the careers and majors, programs that they want to enter into, and then go from there either to advance their education or to go into their career. And it was really fulfilling and self-gratifying.
So your title is Dean of Enrollment and Access.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
The Dean of Enrollment and Access traditionally is an enrollment management executive position. It oversees the Office of Admissions, the Financial Aid Office, and the Registrar Office. So with those offices, that is what creates the enrollment piece. However, Dr. Gavin and his leadership added access because we want to create a college-going culture, aligning with the strategic plan and closing opportunity gaps. And so that's where the access piece come in at. But overall, trying to just really provide a stimulus in the enrollment piece of Delta College.
Delta College has seen some declining enrollments in past years. Can you tell us about this fall and what enrollment looks like for winter semester?
Yes, so this fall we were very successful. We had we met 107%, of our goal. So it was an increase opposed to the previous years where enrollment probably teetered a little bit, but that was due to COVID and a lot of other circumstances. So across the country, a lot of colleges and universities saw a dip in their enrollment numbers. However, Delta has done a great job with really putting together some teams across the Student Educational Services Division, along with academics, to really create these fusion groups to work collaboratively and really push the enrollment goal to increase enrollment and to also assist in retention.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think dual enrollment is part of that increase as well?
Absolutely, I'm glad you mentioned that. Dual enrollment and our early middle college has really gained a lot of momentum. So middle college in the Bay County area has increased, and it continues to double each year, 250 students almost every year. So that, along with dual enrollment initiatives we have with Saginaw Public School System called the Saginaw Academy of Excellence, along with the dual enrollment programs in our Bay and Middleton counties, has really increased. It's a great program, and students are getting an opportunity to gain Delta College credit that it aligns with Michigan transfer agreement. And so when they leave high school, they will have up to 30 credit hours of college credit already.
James, can you tell us about some of the barriers that students see and what Delta College might be doing to help them get across those hurdles?
And I would like to probably start when I first came here, initially coming here. And when I interviewed, I saw that there was a lot of students, especially in the Saginaw County area, that didn't have a high percentage of degree attainment. So when I mentioned the Saginaw Academy of Excellence, those were one of the initiatives to remove barriers from students in the Saginaw Public School District to allow a college-going culture, to allow them to start gaining college credit early in high school. So when they do leave high school, they will pretty much be halfway through their associate's degree, and then they can go into transfer agreement on transfer pathways or career pathways. That was a major barrier, and we're continuing to add courses to the Saginaw Public School District with asynchronous courses and other initiatives that we're trying to do. So that was a major barrier. Other barriers that we're doing to initiatives that we're doing to remove barriers are student resources. We want to make sure that when students come to Delta College, that they don't have to worry about food or clothing or bills that they cannot pay, or competing life priorities that sometimes cause a strain in their educational attainment. So we are doing a great job with not only providing college courses, but providing resources and avenues and pathways for students to be successful in obtaining their education.
So what's on your to-do list for this year, and what sort of things are you looking at for the future?
Well, the to-do list is to continue to increase enrollment. We strive to be a leading college among community colleges and universities. So number one, we want to continue to increase enrollment, as we have been doing, as we've done for the fall. And so far that's working, because in the winter semester we're also up in our enrollment. But we also want to make sure that we continue to keep our eye on the opportunity gaps. We want to continue to make access to college a lot more easier. We are working on transfer agreements. And so my goal is to make sure that students are aware of the state funding initiatives, the federal funding initiatives, so they can also know that they can go to school for a low cost. And this is to remove the debt to income ratio for students. So when they graduate, they don't have to worry about a lot of debt. They can focus on their career, or they can focus on transfer. So my goal is to increase enrollment, bring awareness to state funding and federal funding initiatives. Another goal is to continue to work with our dual enrollment students to make sure that they understand their pathways for their future. My goal is to continue to gain a lot of continuity and teamwork within the enrollment division, so we can continue to think about new and innovative ways to create access for students.
Well, it sounds like you'll be pretty busy.
Yes.
So I thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today, and thank you again so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Delta College's Society of Hispanic Leaders, or SOL, recently organized a Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead celebration, a long-standing Hispanic tradition. A mariachi group and an ofrendos, or altar, helped honor the deceased loved ones of the attendees. Let's join in and learn more about celebration.
Today we are celebrating Dia de los Muertos, and in English that means Day of the Dead. We celebrate our ancestors and our family members that have passed away. We do have some ofrendas here that the Students Society of Hispanic Leaders student group at Delta College has brought their ancestors, pictures of them in remembrance of them. So it's just a time to relax, celebrate our culture. We also have Roxanne Chanteca and her father performing tonight, which is going to be wonderful. And I feel it's important to have events like this to educate our community, our students, bring awareness. What makes us unique about our culture, you know, honoring our heritage, honoring our ancestors that have passed. It's a wonderful celebration.
The Delta College Planetarium recently welcomed Dr. Gregory Wirth, a Midland native, to the downtown Bay City Center for a public discussion and exploration into the creation of NASA's James Webb Telescope.
Today I'm going to be explaining the story of the James Webb Space Telescope, how it was designed, how my team and I worked on commissioning the telescope after it was launched into orbit to align its mirrors to extreme precision, and what the Webb telescope is delivering to us in terms of fantastic new science results. Now, before we go any further, let's get some perspective. You're probably familiar with the Hubble Space Telescope. Now, Hubble orbits 350 miles above us in low Earth orbit and still generates groundbreaking science 33 years after being launched. Hubble has given us beautiful images of planets, stars, and galaxies. But Hubble's done more than simply give us incredible images. It's made multiple major discoveries in astrophysics, ranging from how stars are born in the wombs of massive clouds of hydrogen to how they die in titanic explosions that create vast and colorful nebulae, glowing in the light of hydrogen, sulfur, and oxygen atoms. Now, the most important property of any telescope is the size of its main mirror. A larger mirror gathers more light, allowing it to see fainter and more distant objects. The image on the left shows how Hubble's 2.4 meter primary mirror compares to the enormous 6.5 meter mirror on Webb. At right is a full-scale model of Webb. That gold surface with the honeycomb pattern is the main mirror that gathers light. To give you a sense of just how well Webb performs, consider this image taken with the Spitzer Space Telescope, NASA's previous best infrared camera in space, and compare that to the image of the same spot in the sky taken with Webb. Notice the incredible additional wealth of detail we get. Things that are blurry in the Spitzer image are well resolved with Webb. Things that are invisible to Spitzer stand out as pinpoints of light with Webb. A larger mirror not only gathers more light, but also delivers sharper images. Here's a Webb image of something in our solar system. Well, lo and behold, it's a planet, but maybe not the one you expect. This isn't Saturn, it's actually Neptune, the furthest planet from our sun. How good is that detail? Well, you can compare the Webb image at right to the image at Hubble took in the center and see the additional detail that Webb gives us. In fact, that Webb image shows almost as much detail as the image on the left that the Voyager spacecraft took when it flew past Neptune decades ago, even though Webb is all the way across the solar system. We have never had a space telescope that can reveal so much detail. Now, Webb's already given us a tremendous amount of exciting science, but NASA's already working with American astronomers to put the next giant telescope into orbit. Named after the NASA astronomer who championed Hubble, the Nancy Grace Roman telescope is on track to launch in 2027. It will combine the monolithic mirror design of Hubble with the infrared vision of Webb. So I hope that the people who come out to hear this talk tonight come away inspired not only by the science, but also by this fantastic facility. Planetariums are an exceptional resource for teaching everybody, the young, the old, about the wonders of the universe. It allows us to come into a space and be instructed, tutored, exposed to the kinds of wonders all across the universe. In our ever-growing society with the light pollution, the clouds that we get here in the wintertime, and the inability to access large telescopes, few people have the ability to really explore the wonders of the universe in the way that a planetarium can provide. So getting out to visit a planetarium or an observatory, being able to see the universe as it really is just a fantastic opportunity to expand our minds and understand our place in the biggest thing there is, the universe.
The Entrepreneurship program emphasizes skills in creativity and innovation. The process consists of imagining opportunities and taking action to create value through new ventures. To learn more about Delta College's program, we talked with Dawn Fairchild, Professor of Management.
Entrepreneurship, people have a misunderstanding that entrepreneurship is simply small business management, but it's more than that. It's more of a mindset. And so here at Delta, what we have done is we have taken small business management and we have changed it into an entrepreneurship program, which is more innovative, more hands-on, more experiential. Most businesses, whether they're large or small, started as a smaller one-person, two-person entity, started with that entrepreneur and with that entrepreneur's mindset. Characteristics of an entrepreneur: a person who is willing to take chances, who is seeking opportunities. We have an introductory mindset course for entrepreneurship, and in that course we teach things like choice, opportunity, community action, reliability, grit, things like that. So just like leadership, I think you can learn to be an entrepreneur, but you have to have that mindset and that willingness to be innovative and to grow and to take some risk. Currently we have about 104 in the entrepreneurship program, and that is actually doubled since we've changed it from our simple small business management program into the entrepreneurship program with the more hands-on classes. Some would say that you don't even need a degree to be an entrepreneur and to be successful. The associate's degree or even our applied certificate in entrepreneurship gives you more tools, shows you some technology, things that you might not have the skills for. As far as associate versus bachelor degree, we have created our associate's degree so that it will transfer into a bachelor's degree at a couple of universities. Northwood is one, Central Michigan is another. And once you get into that bachelor's degree, you have the chance to do some major business planning, whereas in the associates, we learn the fundamentals. We're really excited about this entrepreneurship program and the changes that we've made to it. If you are someone who would be interested in taking these courses, perhaps pursuing your own business, have an invention idea, even artists are entrepreneurs, contact us at Delta College at the information below.
Delta College's health simulation labs give students hands-on opportunities to learn the skills and confidence necessary before training in clinical facilities. Recent updates in the labs give the students an enhanced on-the-job experience. To tell us of recent updates, we talked to Lori Klock, healthcare simulation educator.
A simulation lab is a facility where the students are able to practice what they have learned in a safe setting where we set up patient care situations that are similar to what they would see in their future practice. This simulation lab was created in 2013 and it has been very successful. Some of the benefits of the simulation labs are that the students are able to practice their clinical skills in a safe setting where if they make mistakes they can learn from them, but they would not necessarily harm anyone. Also able to practice their soft skills, communication, teamwork, collaboration with their partners, practice speaking to their patients. The disciplines that use the simulation lab here at Delta College would be nursing, physical therapist assistant, respiratory care, radiography, a surgical tech, sonography. Dental has their own simulation lab. All of these programs have been using the simulation lab for the many years that we've been here, and they've all experienced extreme success with these programs. Many of our mannequins are able to communicate in multiple ways with our students. For example, many of our mannequins have the benefit of being able to exhibit heart sounds, lung sounds, bowel sounds, assessment capabilities like being able to take blood pressures on those mannequins. When the mannequins are in the simulation lab area or when the students are participating in an actual simulation scenario, the mannequin will have a conversation with the patient. I will portray the voice of the patient, and then we'll thereby be able to also have the students experience communication directly with the patient, back and forth communication as if they're talking to a real patient. We've recently added many new mannequins in our simulation lab to better reflect the patients that our students will be seeing in their clinical practice. So we have taken receipt of mannequins of various skin tones, various sizes, various age groups, and our students are able to practice on those mannequins. The students view this as being much more normal to see patients that are much more reflective of the patients that they would see in their future clinical practice. We recently won the Don Loeffner Award for Innovation in the institutional setting. It's related to the League for Innovation, and it is for the adoption of a new web-based audio-visual platform that we're using in the simulation lab, physical therapy assistant lab, and the dental clinic. This is a web-based platform where our faculty can view students and student performance using remote observation areas where they're able to control cameras and view the performance of the students in a more remote setting without having to look over the student's shoulder to see how the student is performing. The benefit to the students is that they are able to perform clinically without having their faculty member looking over their shoulder. The benefit to the faculty is that they're able to observe many students at one time. If they're sitting at a desk and they're responsible for the performance of 4 students, they can look at those 4 students simultaneously on one screen and are able to intervene if necessary, or are able to record the student's performance and provide feedback to those students at a different time. Delta students are very fortunate to have access to this kind of new technology because it helps them to be better prepared to enter the patient care field upon their graduation. For more information about the Delta College Health and Wellness Division, you could visit our website.
The Delta College women's soccer and volleyball teams both had successful regular seasons and made it to their national tournaments. To give us an update on how the postseason play is going, we talked to Andrew Wingard, athletic director.
We had a very successful fall season with our women's soccer and women's volleyball program. I'll start with women's volleyball in their second season back on campus here at Delta College under first-year coaches, Coach Angie Compton and Coach Joe Wilson. Had a great season, ended up being ranked number 3 in the country, which helped us into the postseason play. Eventually, we ended up losing to Owens Community College, who was number 2 in the country during our regional matchup. But thankfully, due to our high ranking, we were able to receive an at-large bid to the national tournament. Our Lady Pioneers did a wonderful job at the national tournament in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The first game, we were actually pinned up against Harper Community College. Did a great job, won that game, and unfortunately, due to the side of the bracket we were in, we had to play the number 1 seed, which was a Texas team out of Dallas. And they just overpowered our women, and we fought hard. But eventually that loss put us in the consolation bracket, and so that put us in the running for 5th and 6th place. We won the first game and then eventually ended up losing to the College of DuPage, which put us as the 6th place for the national tournament for women's volleyball. Congratulations to our women's volleyball team, and on the soccer side of things, Coach Amy and Coach Paul are still leading our soccer program, and they had a very successful year going undefeated in the conference, which helped them receive that number 1 seeding in the country, and also gave them the number 1 seed in the national tournament, which was held in Gastonia, North Carolina. Our ladies soccer program ended up making it to the national championship game, where they met the defending champions, Dallas Brookhaven, and eventually ended up losing 1-0 in a very hard-fought game. Great game. Unfortunately, our ladies ended up being the national runner-up, but still a very, very successful season, and we congratulate Coach Amy, Coach Paul, and our Lady Pioneers for representing Delta College. Congratulations to our Lady Pioneers, and we're looking forward to a successful 2024 season.
I'd like to congratulate both teams on their stellar seasons. Now let's see what's on the Dateline Delta calendar of events.
The Delta College Planetarium is hosting a series of shows during the month of December. For more information about these shows and events happening at the planetarium, visit their website at delta.edu/planetarium. Delta College is putting on its second annual AIDS Walk on Tuesday, December 5th to support World AIDS Day. The event begins at noon outside of Founders Hall. Join us for the DECA Arts and Crafts Fair on Delta's main campus on Wednesday, December 6th from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. The show features local vendors with handmade crafts, foods, and seasonal items. The Booked for Lunch Book Club is open to the entire Delta College community, and on Thursday, December 7th from noon until 1 p.m., we will be discussing The Guncle by Stephen Rowley. The book club is facilitated by the Delta College Library, and you can attend in person on the Delta College main campus or virtually. For further information on these events or other campus activities, contact the Office of Marketing and Public Information at 989-686-9490 or visit our website at www.delta.edu.
Well, that wraps up our show. Please join us again on December 17th when we highlight what's happening here at Delta College, one of America's leading community colleges. Now I leave you with the sights and sounds of Delta College. For Dateline Delta, I'm Dave Morley. Thank you for watching.
Pushed back to Schermerhorn. And there's some help on the right side, Arizona Cray. Plenty of space for Cray to roam as she moves towards the right wing. Whitney Newbill shields the ball towards the end line and wins the goal kick. So that obviously a big strategic change for Jimmy Elder. Putting the sophomore forward as top scorer. One of the fastest players on the field at center back right now.
Local productions seen on Delta College Public Media are made possible with support from viewers like you. Thank you.